Dr. Ndidi here. Thank you for joining. We're going to be finding out why you can't lose weight with PCOS. If that's a problem, you've tried the diet, you've exercised, and you're still not losing weight, stay tuned. Okay, hey y'all, it's Dr. Ndidi again, and we want to talk about why you're eating clean and you're still not losing weight with PCOS. In case you don't know, PCOS stands for polycystic ovary syndrome, and it affects 1 in every 10 women. And a lot of people are going around not knowing that the situation they're experiencing is linked to PCOS. Now, I get a lot of messages every day with people, women, talking about how they could lose weight while dealing with PCOS. And they've tried everything. They're working out. They're eating clean. Even the ones that are not even doing anything. Maybe they've tried the supplements. They've tried all the big things on the market right now, and nothing is working. So I am going to be talking about why you're not able to lose weight today, and some natural things you can do, some natural solutions you can do right now to start reversing that. So there are a number of things that we need to consider. When we're talking about PCOS, it's mostly hormonal for a lot of women. And so when we talk about hormones, we need to start looking at, okay, insulin, testosterone, androgens, cool. But there are other hormones that people don't really talk about too much. And that's something that I do want to mention. We also have to look at insulin. Insulin is a hormone. So we need to look at why insulin might be a factor, okay? We also need to look at, okay, why maybe LH, luteinizing hormone, or follicular stimulating hormone, FSH, will also be a factor when it comes to, weight loss or weight gain and things like that. There was a lady that I was listening to her story, and she was talking about how she would go on these crazy diets. She'll lose the weight, but before you know it, she starts gaining it back. And then another situation, she also found something that worked. I think she was saying she did like the keto diet or something. And what happened was she was losing the weight, and it got to a point where she had lost like up to 30 or 40 pounds, and she stopped losing weight, but she was still doing the same diet. And then what started happening was she started gaining weight. And so within like 2 months, she had gained 20 pounds, and it just kept increasing. And that's when she was like, okay, something else is going on. I need to figure it out. Keep in mind that if insulin resistance is a problem for you, then that's part of the problem with weight gain. So then what does that look like, Dr. Ndidi? Well, insulin resistance means when you eat, insulin doesn't work. And we need insulin to work because it's supposed to carry the food items and the nutrients and everything we just ate. And it's supposed to take it to organs and tissues that need it. Now, what happens when insulin is not working? If we eat anything that has sugar, carbs, proteins, fats, it stays high in our bloodstream. So while insulin is high, those other items are also high. So now you start hearing people talk about, oh, I have high blood pressure, high blood sugar. Everything is high in the blood. That's because insulin did not work properly. So now where insulin is high, androgen levels are also going to be high because they go hand in hand. Insulin causes weight gain, okay? So if insulin is not going to work and is staying high in your bloodstream, you will gain weight, essentially. So no matter what kind of exercising you're doing, no matter what kind of diet you think you're doing, if you haven't kind of figured out how you can resolve that issue, you're just going to be in limbo land. So now I came up with a formulation to kind of help you figure this out. I like to call it my defense method. So get a pen and paper. It's 7 steps that I teach my ladies when they're trying to reverse PCOS naturally. And first of all, we start with the D. What is the D for? D is for detox. If you don't detox properly, and I mean a liver detox, you probably hear me all the time because this is something that I try for myself. I dealt with a lot of PCOS symptoms. I dealt with the cystic acne. I dealt with the miscarriages. I dealt with heavy periods. I dealt with extreme period cramping and pain for 20 years. 20 years until I found a solution. I am also a licensed pharmacist, so I know about medications. And I didn't want to be on drugs that were causing so many side effects because I knew all the side effects, and I'm like, I don't want to be that. And I tried those medications and it worked for a little bit. And when I stopped it, my whole problems, they all came back. The birth controls, the antibiotics for the acne, everything, it came back. And when you have miscarriages, the doctor's like, I don't know why, there's no reason, but just go ahead and rest and go home. I'm like, this cannot be, that can be the answer. And I didn't find anyone who looked like me that was talking about this problem. And I vowed to myself that when I found a solution, a natural solution, I will come up here and tell everybody else, other women, other girls. Hopefully no girl is just somewhere trying to figure it out on their own. So that's why I'm really doing this. And I hope it reaches a whole lot of women that need it. A lot of girls that need it as well. If you know a mom, a sister, niece, a daughter, cousin, somebody that needs this information, go ahead and send them my video. Let them subscribe so they can follow through and find something that helps. So what I do to help people in this regard, like if someone was looking for a natural solution, there's something I recommend. It's called hyphenolic. It's a natural alternative to semaglutide. Now, if you heard about semaglutide, you know it's what's going on right now. Everybody's on it. Everybody's like, ooh. But it comes with a lot of side effects, a lot of GI effects, a lot of gastrointestinal effects. I was talking to a lady one day and she was telling me how she had lost 20 pounds on her semaglutide shots. And I was like, oh, okay, that's great. This is a big company. I'm not going to say their name. I'm just going to say semaglutide. But then she lost it in like 2 weeks or something. That was very fast. But I was congratulating her. I'm like, oh, you know, that's good. And she was like, no, I mean, it's good, but I actually fainted. I blacked out. I just left the ER yesterday. I'm like, wait, what happened? And she said her blood sugar had dropped so low. So when she did her next dose of the injection, she had rumblings and she was getting lightheaded and dizzy and she fainted. And that's all she can remember. She woke up in ER. It was too much. Her blood sugar had dropped so low and she couldn't control it. Maybe she didn't know what was happening. And that's what happened. So this right here, hyphenolic. Let me see if you can see it. Let me focus in. Yeah, hyphenolic. We have it here. I carry it here in my pharmacy, but I could also ship out to the whole, you know, wherever you are in the United States. It's a natural semaglutide alternative. It is also a GLP-1 agonist, which means it creates satiety. That means whenever you eat something, you don't feel so hungry, you know, so quickly. It curbs your cravings and your appetite, so you don't have to eat so much, which is a lot of problem that people have with like snacking and eating, and they just kind of end up eating crap. So the company has done a lot of study, a lot of money has gone in there, and it shows that within 8 weeks, people who were on it for 8 weeks, so that means you have to be at least on it for, you know, 2 months, had seen 6 to 8% in body weight loss. I had one of my patients that came here to the pharmacy and I had him try it for a month. And he was like, when are you getting the next stock? Because I lost 10 pounds in 1 month with this stuff. And I was like, oh my goodness, I'm so excited. That's good to hear. So yes, it is not just for women. Men could also do it as well. Don't be scared. For your hormones, because like I said, weight issues, when you tried everything else, it could really be pointing to hormonal imbalance. There's this one here I also carry. It's called Balance. I don't know if you can see it, but I'll add like a link in the description of this video. Also, you can see it here. But Balance is another one. Like the name says, it's for hormonal balance. And essentially what it'll do is to make sure that your estrogen, your androgen levels, they're all kind of in the same loop, along with like people who kind of talk about their thyroid, their LH, or which is luteinizing hormone, FSH, which is follicle stimulating hormones. That's what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to like get everything together. So now you're not having abdominal weight issues. You don't have the metabolic syndrome. Metabolic syndrome is just a group of things that come together that let you know you're either overweight. So if you have a high BMI, you have the inches around your waist, and it varies for men and women, is more than the regular, and your blood sugar. So these are one of the 2 powerful things I recommend for my PCOS ladies that are trying to look for natural solutions to their weight issues. So keep in mind, I was going through my defense framework. So we talked about detox. Make sure it's a liver eliminating detox, phase 1 and phase 2. Then you need to understand the kind of foods you're eating. What do you have in your pantry right now? What do you have in your refrigerator? There's some food you might need to throw away, and there's some you need to replace back. You need to learn that, okay? Exercising. Do the right exercise for PCOS. And don't be doing hardcore, like going over an hour, 2 hours working out. It doesn't work. Instead, you're actually doing more harm than good. I'll get into that another day. So that's the E, my defense. And then N is for nutrition. Nutrition just means you learning exactly what it is that you need to be eating. Certain food items you need to remove. You need to understand ingredients. You need to learn how to turn the back of things that you're eating and read like, okay, what does this mean? Ingredient. The first 3 are the most important ingredients, and those are the ones you need to like pay attention to. You might need to run away from some as soon as you see it, okay? Then we talk about the S's. I have 3 S defense, so it's not the regular way you spell it, but you know, supplement. You need to be supplementing. If you're not eating a whole meal, or you're like, I don't like vegetables, I don't like this other stuff, You need to be supplementing, okay? Be getting your supplement from a good place. If you need a recommendation for that, I'll also include a link down below for something that's well-rounded from a high-grade nutraceutical, okay? None of those ones you just go into the store and pick that's like is made from wherever. You need to be sleeping. You need to be sleeping during the circadian rhythm hours. That's when your body repairs itself, it fixes itself, and all of that. Last thing, you need to reduce stress. When you stress, especially long-term stress, you're producing more cortisol. And that is also a hormone that we don't want, because too much production of cortisol is a toxin to our body. Our bodies can't clear it out. You will see that your weight, you keep adding weight because you're stressing more and more and more. Your body keeps producing the cortisol because it's thinking you're in some kind of problem or issues. It doesn't know you're just stressing because you're thinking about something that's bothering you. Figure out a way to take care of your stress, a very holistic way. Some people have to go the medication route because maybe it's gotten too far, but I like to always do things journaling, meditating, writing down, praying, reading your Bible, whatever it is you need to do, but something to take your mind away from whatever is stressing you. But yeah, that is what I have to say today about weight issues concerning PCOS. If you enjoyed anything I said or you learned one or two things, please go ahead and like this, share, and subscribe so you can enjoy more of my content, and YouTube will know that this is something that's helpful for other women out there that might be looking for a solution and they haven't found it yet. So until next time, thank you and have a good day. Bye-bye.